everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and let's get right into today's video. So for today's video, I have a very exciting video for you all. I am going to be doing one of those types of videos where I try weird nail products or just try a weird nail product on my channel. And for today, I am going to be trying the snake pattern dual forms. I got these from TEMU a while back and I have been so excited to try them. I just haven't gotten around to it yet, and I was like, today's the day. We're gonna try those snake pattern nail dual forms. So I am going to be using these in today's video. I do have 3 different boxes. I have a Russian almond nail shape, a square nail shape, and a stiletto. I haven't completely decided which ones I want to use yet. I'm kind of stuck between the square and the Russian almond nail shape. I really don't know for sure, but basically, in case you guys are like, what the heck are you holding? These are regular dual forms that you would use with Polygel. But instead of them being like flat and smooth, they have a texture to them, and the texture is supposed to replicate like a snake skin. So it has like that 3D texture to them. I have never used any type of dual forms like this. Also from TEMU, I did pick up some silicone molds, which I remember them having like, I think like cheetah, maybe some diamond shapes, something like that. I can't remember for sure, but I will also be trying those in an upcoming video. I wanted to kind of smash them together and do one video using the snake dual forms and then also the other molds, but then I was like, I might as well not do that. I might as well focus on the snake pattern dual forms in this video, and then in an upcoming video I will be using or trying out those silicone dual form molds. These products, like I said, they're very new to me. I've never used any type of dual form like this. I've only ever used the regular smooth dual forms that make your polygel smooth, but these ones give that snake 3D pattern. So we're going to be trying these out today. This is a little weird, a little crazy, and I don't really know how these nails are going to turn out. In the end, this may be a complete flop and not really a nice looking nail set in the end, but I don't know. We're just going to try it and see how things go, and I've just been really excited to try these dual forms. So let's go ahead and jump in. I do want to give you all a little bit of a closer look at these dual forms, so I'm going to pull up my other camera here. We're going to take a quick look at these, and then we will jump in to actually using the polygel and molding the polygel to these dual forms. And let's just cross our fingers that we get a reasonable or semi-decent looking nail set in the end, and hopefully it looks something like a snake skin. Okay, so let's take a closer look at the snake pattern polygel dual forms. I really just want to jump right in. So all of these boxes do contain 120 pieces. Like I also mentioned, I did pick these up from TEMU. I'm hoping I will be able to link these down below in the description box. You guys know sometimes it is a little bit difficult with TEMU just because they have so many products. Sometimes their products also get discontinued. So I will be trying my best to find these dual forms. If I cannot find these exact ones, I will also just try to find some sort of snake pattern dual form. But we do have 3 nail shapes. This first nail shape here, I like to call these a Russian almond. I believe that's the name for them. I have used these dual forms before and I really, really love this nail shape. So I just want to quickly show these. You can see here, hopefully this snakeskin pattern is picking up. But on the underside, it's almost like etched into the dual form. Instead of the dual form being smooth, it does have like that 3D texture or like that surface texture to it. And oh my goodness, do these ever look so freaking cool. I am a little bit worried about how it's going to go, like with the applying the polygel and then filing the nails and then also applying top coat. If I apply top coat, is it going to take away from the design, or how's that going to work? I don't really know. I guess we'll just have to try these out. But here is this Russian almond nail shape, a very beautiful nail shape. And then I also hope that you guys can see that snake pattern in the doll form because it is so cool looking. So we have these ones, and then we also have some square. These are like a long square, and they're the same exact thing. They have that same exact like etched underside with that 3D snake skin pattern. Instead of it being smooth, it does have like that texture to it. And these are a very beautiful nail shape as well. Oh my goodness. I don't know if I want to use the square or the Russian almond. I also do have stiletto. Now, I'm not a huge fan of stiletto nails, so I will not be using these ones. I like stiletto nails, but at the same time, they just are not really my favorite. But here are the stiletto ones. These are also really cool. And I feel like these would also be super fun because you could do super sharp stilettos and then have like this really cool snake pattern on your nails. And I think that would be like very batty. But these are also really nice. Overall, these are all really nice. They seem to be really nice doll forms. They also have that texture to them, 120 pieces in each box. And I am just excited to dive right in here and start doing the nails. So we're gonna go ahead and get these sized out. I'm gonna need to decide on a polygel color. And then I also need to decide if I wanna go with the square or the Russian almond. So I have decided to go with the Russian almond nail shape. The last time I used these types of doll forms and full cover nail tips, I really loved how the nails turned out. So I'm gonna go ahead and use these today. I do quickly need to get these sized out, and then I'm also going to stick them on my little nail stands here. That way it makes applying and molding the polygel a lot easier. So when sizing out your doll forms, I feel like the main goal, it's almost just like sizing out full cover nail tips, but it's very, very crucial to make sure that the nail tip is going to have enough space for the polygel. You really do not want to have the nail tip being just right or too small. If you are in between sizes, always size up, just because you have to keep in mind you're going to be adding polygel to the doll form, and that's going to take up some extra space. So you want to be sure that the doll form has enough room to have the polygel molded and then still also fit onto your natural nail. So I'm just quickly going to get these sized out, and then I will pop them onto my little nail stands. So here are the doll forms after I have them all sized out. I was having some troubles with my thumbnail. The sizes were like really large and I just could not size down. So you did see me take a hand file and customize the doll form for my thumb. I don't know if you guys know that or not, but just like full cover nail tips, you can customize your doll forms. So like I mentioned, if you're in between sizes, always size up. But then if you need to make the fit a little bit more custom, take that hand file and just go in and customize the doll form. So now we are ready to apply our polygel. I did decide that I'm going to be doing blue nails. I'm just going to keep this very simple today and just do all all blue nails, just because this is my first time trying these dual forms. I think they're just like a weird, crazy product, and I really just want to see how this turns out first. So we are just going to do some blue nails all around, all of the nails blue, nothing crazy, nothing special. I was thinking about doing a glitter, but at the same time, I was a little bit worried that you might not be able to see the texture on the nails if I were to use a glitter. I really don't know for sure, so I'm just going to use a blue Polygel, and again, I'm going to be doing this color for all of the nails. Okay, so I have my Polygel brush, I also have my slip solution, and for these nails, I'm going to be doing the full length. So I'm going to take my Polygel, squeeze it out into all of the dual forms. That way it can kind of just rest and settle, and then I'll go in with my Polygel brush to mold the Polygel. Okay, I have all of the Polygel out into the dual forms. My Polygel was a little stiff just because it is a little cold in my nail room, so I was having trouble squeezing that out, but now I do have it applied to all of the dual forms, and like I said, doing blue on all of the nails, also doing the entire length of these dual forms. So I'm just going to be taking my Polygel brush and fully covering and molding the Polygel to the entire length of these dual forms. I will not be doing any curing. I'm just going to be molding the Polygel, and then after I have all of the Polygel molded, that's when I'll actually take the dual forms off of the nail stands and apply these to my natural nails and then do my cures. Something to keep in mind when working with Polygel, a little bit of Polygel does go a long way. Even though it seems like I have a lot of Polygel in these dual forms, they are really long, so that is the reason. But Polygel is a very thick product, so a little bit does really go a long way and allows you to extend your product and move it around with covering a lot of surface with just a little bit of product because of it being so thick. Another thing, I am using the brand Macart Polygel. I feel like I have not used Macart in a minute, but I absolutely love their Polygel. I don't even know if they still sell it anymore or not. I may be able to find it on Amazon and link it in my Amazon storefront for you all, but I do really love their Polygel. I'm a person who likes a Polygel with a little bit of a stiffer consistency. You saw me squeezing out the Polygel and it was a little cold. Like I mentioned, in my room, it's a little cold. But the Polygel is also on the stiffer side. It isn't sticky, and that allows you to be able to work with the Polygel a lot longer and mold the Polygel before actually needing to dip your brush. When using a sticky Polygel, it is so annoying, especially for beginners. Polygel already is super sticky, and then if you have a sticky Polygel and you're constantly needing to dip your brush and the Polygel is also just always sticking to your brush, it gets so annoying and it's very difficult to work with the Polygel. I have also tried a lot of Polygels from TEMU that I've really liked. I'll try leaving those videos linked up in the cards. And I also do have a lot of Polygel kits from TEMU that I will be trying in future upcoming videos. So be sure to subscribe and turn on post notifications. That way you guys can be notified when I do upload those videos. I will be working on those videos very, very soon. I have a lot of stuff that I want to try out and a lot of different nail kits. So So just be sure to subscribe and also let me know if you guys enjoy the Polygel videos. I started my channel off doing Polygel videos and I do really love working with Polygel. That's why recently I've been trying to pick up some different things from TEMU like dual forms or the silicone molds or Polygel kits just to be able to get my hands back on the Polygel because I do really enjoy working with Polygel and doing the Polygel nails. So I'm just going to go ahead and continue here and just mold out the Polygel to the dual forms. I really can't tell how anything is going. I'm not doing anything different than I usually would. I feel like we will not be able to tell for sure how these nails are going to turn out until after I have all of the Polygel molded and we actually get these applied and then we pop off the dual forms. So let's just hope for the best. So here are the dual forms after I have all of the polygel molded. I will say I did struggle just a little bit, but I feel like honestly it's the Russian almond nail shape just because it isn't, I'm not like super, just because I'm not really used to the Russian almond nail shape, I just felt like it was a little bit trickier and took me a little bit longer to mold the polygel. And that's just because the way these dual forms are like shaped with the Russian almond shape. If you've ever used it, then you know what I'm talking about, because the top side, it's almost like the flat side. And then there's sides on the nail shape, if that makes sense. Anyways, I have all of the polygel molded to these dual forms. These dual forms are also really long, which I really love. This polygel color is so beautiful. Now it's time to actually get these applied. Keep in mind, I did not do any curing to the polygel. I just applied the polygel to the dual forms and then molded the polygel using my brush and slip solution. Now it is time to actually do my curing and get these cured to my natural nails. So I have my peel off base coat applied, but I also did go ahead and buff the surface of that, just hoping that when it comes time to pop off these dual forms, they don't actually pop off, because sometimes my peel off base coat just works a little too good. But let's go ahead and get these applied. I'm going to pop the dual form off of the nail stand and then apply the nail tip just like I usually would, or I should say apply the dual form just like I usually would, like a normal nail tip. And then obviously I'm gonna have a little bit of spillage, so I'm just gonna take my brush and be sure to clean that up and also clean up the underside. You wanna make sure you don't have any polygel on your skin. And then because of how long these nails are, I am actually gonna go in with a flash cure and just do a little bit of a flash cure just to be sure that the nail doesn't move around and I create a much larger mess than necessary, because again, polygel does have a sticky layer. So working with polygel, you are going to get sticky. There's just really not anything that you can do about it other than work with the stickiness until it's time to take a lint-free wipe and clean everything up and remove that sticky layer. So I am going to go in here and just repeat this same exact process to all of the nails, just gently applying it and then pressing it down, and then also cleaning up the cuticle area and also the underside of the dual form, and then just being sure that nail tip is straight and in place and doing my flash cure. I will repeat this to all of the nails, getting them all applied, and then after I do have them all applied, I will go into my large nail lamp. With polygel, I like to do 2 full cures. I like to do 60 seconds for my full cure, and I will do 60 seconds with my palm facing down and 60 seconds with my palm facing up. And that is just how I ensure that I get a full cure. And I will do that in a large, full-powered nail lamp. So here are how the nails are looking after I have the dual forms applied and I did my full cures in my large full powered nail lamp. Now it is time to pop off these dual forms. This is going to be a little difficult because I'm hoping that my peel off base coat allows these nails to stay on for the time being. And then also because I did the entire dual form, I feel like there really isn't much to hold on to. So let's just hope for the best here. I'm hoping that these are going to have some sort of like 3D snake pattern on them, and we will be able to see once we get this off. Oh my goodness, here is the first one. I am so scared. Let's hope for the best here. Let's see. Here comes the reveal. Oh my goodness, look at that. It is there. Wow, that is so cool. Hopefully that's picking up on camera. Let me go ahead and get the rest of these off, and then we will go ahead and take a closer look. This is so exciting. I was a little bit nervous, but there is definitely a snake pattern on these nails. So the dual forms definitely worked, and it isn't like a smooth surface like normal dual forms. There is definitely some sort of pattern on these nails. Oh my goodness, this is so cool. The last dual form, let's pop this one off. And it's actually not that hard to get these off. I'm kind of just squeezing them. I am very sticky though. I can't wait to just wipe all of this stickiness away. I say it isn't harder than this last one is giving me problems. Oh my goodness. Come on, don't pop off. Yes, okay. So we got all of the dual forms popped off, and look at that. I hope it's picking up on camera. I feel like it may be a little difficult to see just because the blue is like what the 3D pattern is, but hopefully that's picking up. I do want to wipe away the sticky layer, so I'm gonna spray some rubbing alcohol on my nails because I am so sticky, and then I'm also just gonna take a lint-free wipe and just wipe away all of the stickiness. And something that with the filing and buffing, of course, I'm not going to be able to buff or file the surface of these nails because that's going to take away the pattern. So I'm just going to take a hand file and let's just hope for the best. I'm going to try to go around the cuticle with my hand file, and then I'm also going to, of course, try to crisp up the nail shape. So here are how the nails are looking. They are looking really, really good. I am super happy with the result. Like, this is actually crazy. And I think it would be super fun to play around with these dual forms, like do different things like encapsulate, add in a glitter, use a glitter polygel, maybe even do like some chrome, like brush on some chrome to the dual form and then apply the polygel. I think there are a lot of different ways that you can use these dual forms and get this super cool like 3D texture design. Now the only thing I'm a little bit still worried about is the top coat. So I don't really know if the top coat's gonna take away from the design or not. I have decided I want to do a matte top coat just because the nails now, they're matte and I feel like they look really good. So if I apply the matte top coat and they still look like this, it's going to be absolutely perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and try this just on my thumbnail first because honestly, I'm a little bit worried, and if this doesn't work, then we're just not gonna apply top coat to this nail set because I don't wanna take away the snake pattern. So I'm gonna apply just a very thin layer of top coat to the nail, and then I'll go ahead and cure, and we'll just see how the nail looks after I have cured. So here is the nail after I have cured, and it's exactly what I thought would happen. You can still see the snake pattern just because I went in with a super thin coat, but it is not the same as it looked before I applied the top coat. So do we just not need to apply a top coat? I mean, the nails are no longer sticky, so I think that with these dual forms, it probably would be best just to wipe them and use like isopropyl alcohol to get rid of the sticky layer, and then just don't use a top coat, because if you do go in with a top coat, it's going to take away from your design a little bit. So I think it's better to just not use a top coat, and this is just going to be the final look of the nails. I'm not going to apply the matte top coat to the other nails. I did just want to try it out and see, and it did exactly what I thought was going to happen. It kind of just took away from the snake pattern. Even though you can still see it a little bit, it did take away from it. So I'm not going to apply top coat to the rest of the nails, and we're just going to finish the nail set off without a top coat. Honestly, that feels so weird to say, but I think that is going to be best for this nail set. I also don't think I'm going to add anything because I want like just the snake pattern on these nails to be like everything that's going on with these nails. I feel like if I add more, they'll just get too chaotic, and I really just love looking at the snake texture. This was super fun, and I cannot wait to try the other little silicone molds that I have. Be sure to like this video and comment below if you guys are also excited and want to see that upcoming video. But I'm now going to go in with my cuticle oil. I'm going to apply that to my cuticles, rub that in to nourish them, and of course, like I always say, top off the nail set. And here is the finished look of how these nails turned out. I am absolutely obsessed. Like I said, this was so fun, and I cannot believe how these turned out. Like, this is absolutely crazy. It's going to be so interesting to see how the other silicone dual form molds work, and just like how that all works, because I'm really curious with those, because those are something completely different. Those are like actual little silicone molds that go into a regular dual form. So that's going to be super fun, but these also turned out very amazing, and I am really impressed. Keep in mind the thumbnail does have that thin coat of matte top coat on it, so that is why it does look slightly different. But as for the other nails, I did not apply a top coat, and they definitely do look a lot better. And I am just impressed. Oh my goodness, this is absolutely crazy and so fun. I'm also loving the nail shape too. That Russian almond is an absolutely stunning nail shape. I think these turned out great, and I did have a lot of fun with this nail set. I will be trying my best to leave all the links to the products that I did use down below in the description box. That way, if you guys want to pick anything up for yourselves, you are able to do so. I really hope you all did enjoy today's video, but as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.